Noah had always been the type of person who sought truth, where others accepted rumors. As a cybersecurity student, he spent countless nights exploring darknet corners that most people didn't even know existed. Not because he was reckless, but because he believed knowledge came from understanding what hid in the shadows. The dark web fascinated him, not for the legal markets or fake hitman advertisements, but for the abandoned forums and hidden communities that felt like digital graveyards, places where people once gathered but vanished without explanation. He studied old server logs for fun, traced dead domains, and built maps of old onion networks. That's why, on a quiet Saturday night, when he stumbled on a forum thread with no username, no date, no replies, and just a single red link that pulsed like a heartbeat, it grabbed his attention instantly. Under the link, a line of text blinked slowly. If you watch, you become part of it. Below that was a timestamp that updated every 30 seconds. Noah refreshed the page 10 times, and the timestamp changed every single time. Someone or something was still maintaining it. For days, Noah tried to break down the link. It didn't behave like a normal onion URL. It didn't trace to a server, didn't connect to a node, and didn't respond to any kind of network probing. Every time he tried to analyze it, the link redirected itself, almost as if it was dodging his attempts. By the third day, curiosity overpowered caution. He set up his room for what he thought would be a harmless investigation. VPN layered on top of Tor, secondary firewall enabled, spare laptop, external connections disabled, cameras taped, microphone unplugged, triple protection. He told himself nothing could go wrong. But when the clock hit 11:59 p.m., and the red link on the hidden forum suddenly turned brighter, almost glowing, he felt a faint chill crawl up his spine. When it turned midnight, Noah clicked. At first, his screen instantly shut off. The laptop stayed on, but the display went pure black. A thin line of white text then appeared at the top left. Connecting to live node, Noah frowned. That wasn't normal. Even for darknet streams, there should be delays, handshake signals, data pings. There were none. The connection was instantaneous. Another line appeared. Verifying viewer identity then. Payment required, $0. He whispered to himself. What kind of red room is free? The screen shifted as a chat window loaded. Thousands of viewer IDs filling the screen. No profile pictures, no comments, no movement. Just IDs breathing silently on the screen, like a crowd of people holding their breath. A countdown appeared. 2 minutes. Noah tried to leave, but his mouse was frozen. Keyboard frozen. Power button unresponsive. He reached for the plug, but before he could pull it, his webcam light blinked once. The tape he put on it stayed in place, but the camera still somehow turned on. The countdown continued. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Noah's heart raced. He tried to force shut the laptop by holding the lid down, but the screen pushed itself slightly open as if resisting. Finally, the countdown hit 0. A chair sat under a dim red bulb that flickered occasionally. In the chair sat a person, head covered with a black cloth, hands tied behind their back. Noah expected poor camera quality, maybe grainy footage. Instead, the quality was disturbingly high, multiple angles switching perfectly, like a professional production. It didn't match the chaos and unpredictability of actual dark web content. It felt carefully orchestrated, calm, patient. Too patient. Then white text appeared on the video. The show begins when the chosen viewer is detected. Another line followed. Random selection in progress. Noah leaned forward, pulse hammering. His laptop fan spun faster. Then the overlay text flashed. Viewer 1342, chosen. Noah's throat tightened. He didn't know why, but he felt like something irreversible had just happened. Suddenly, the room on the live stream moved. The tied figure twitched. The camera zoomed in slowly on their covered face. A low hum vibrated through Noah's speakers. The room lighting flickered. Then a second monitor in the basement turned on. On that monitor, a live webcam feed appeared in Noah's face. His room, his background. The tape that covered his webcam somehow peeled away neatly and fell onto his keyboard. Noah gasped, stumbling backward. His mic, which he unplugged earlier, somehow plugged itself into the laptop. A distorted voice came through the speakers. "Welcome, Noah." He froze. His name. He hadn't typed anything. He hadn't logged in. He hadn't spoken his name aloud. The voice continued, calm but vibrating with digital distortion. "Viewer 1342, you are part of tonight's session." Noah slammed the laptop shut, but the voice continued speaking from inside the closed device. "We see you. Stay." The sound didn't stop even with the lid fully shut, as if the laptop no longer obeyed physical limits. The next morning, Noah woke on the floor. He didn't remember falling asleep. The laptop sat open on his desk, even though he remembered shutting it. The screen displayed static. His room felt heavier, like the air itself was pressing against him. He grabbed the device, took it outside, and smashed it repeatedly with a hammer until the motherboard cracked in half. He disconnected his router, burned his SIM card, replaced his phone, and even updated his apartment locks. By afternoon, he convinced himself that it was over. But then midnight came again. At exactly 12 a.m., Noah's new phone vibrated. The screen turned white. Then a notification popped up. "Live stream invite. You are already connected." Noah's breath hitched. The device vibrated aggressively and started ringing. "Caller ID. Red signal unknown." He tried to power it off, but the screen flashed red and locked itself. The call answered automatically. Silence filled the line. Then the same distorted voice whisper spoke. "Night 2 begins." Noah trembled. The voice continued. "Last night you watched. Tonight you participate." Noah threw the phone onto the pillow. It stayed connected, speaker on. The voice breathing in his room. "We are closer now." Then the call ended. The following day, Noah skipped classes and stayed home, feeling watched even inside his locked apartment. Shadows felt thicker. Every reflective surface felt like another pair of eyes. At random times, his lights flickered. His devices buzzed even without power, and his apartment's air vents made strange metallic tapping sounds. It felt like something was inside the walls. At sunset, he heard soft knocking on his ceiling, then on the floor, then on his bedroom wall. He tried convincing himself it was the building settling, but the knocks formed patterns that matched the same rhythm he heard during the live stream. He went to bed early, hoping sleep would shut everything out, but at exactly 12 a.m., he woke to a loud static sound. His room was pitch dark except for a faint red glow. His TV had turned itself on, even though it wasn't plugged in. On the screen, the same basement appeared. Only this time, the Tide figure was gone. The chair was empty. The camera slowly panned across the basement until it stopped at the staircase leading upward. Then footsteps. Slow, heavy, deliberate. The camera angle changed to a view at the top of a different staircase. His staircase. His apartment staircase. His breath caught in his throat. The TV showed the shadow of someone walking toward his door. Someone knocked. A soft, slow knock, identical to the pattern from his ceiling earlier. Noah didn't move, didn't speak, didn't breathe. The knocking stopped. After several minutes of paralyzing silence, Noah gathered enough courage to approach the door. He looked through the peephole. No one was there, but the floor outside his door had footprints, wet, dark, and leading toward his apartment from a stairwell. The next morning, his neighbors reported strange noises coming from the building. Some heard crying. Others heard low electronic humming. But Noah didn't hear anything because he wasn't there anymore. His door was locked from the inside, his windows untouched, his belongings neatly arranged. His phone lay on his bed with a single notification glowing. Session complete. The TV in his room, unplugged and cold, flickered one last time. Noah's face appeared on the screen, sitting in the same basement chair under the red bulb, head covered with a cloth, body tied, silently waiting. Another line of text flickered across the screen. Viewer 1342 has joined the show. And somewhere on the dark web, at exactly midnight, a new red link pulsed, waiting for the next curious click.